Synergy Theater and Freestyle Repertory Theater proudly present Right Away. It's a show, it's a jam, it's the best of both worlds, and it's happening right now. Please welcome your hosts for this evening, Lisa Gay Thompson and Ken Adams.
Welcome, everyone, to Right Away. I'm Lisa Gay Thompson. I'm a playwright in the San Francisco Bay Area.
And my name is Ken Adams. I'm the artistic director of Synergy Theater in Walnut Creek, California.
Tonight's show, Right Away, is a co-production between Freestyle Rep in New York City and Synergy Theater in Walnut Creek, California. Two companies divided by a continent, but united in the belief that improvisation is an important theatrical art form.
Right Away is all about improvising on paper. We improvise on stage and we talk and talk and talk, but sometimes when we sit down to write, we experience what we think of as writer's block. But we believe there's no real reason for that. So here we are to Right Away.
Here's how the show works. We have 5 playwrights tonight who will have 45 minutes to write a brand new spankin' play based on a suggestion from you. Brand spanking new play who will, based on a suggestion from you, the audience.
And while they're off writing, everyone in the audience, that's you, is invited to play some spontaneous improv writing games with Lisa and me. Now, I think you're going to want to use paper and a pen and pencil so you can still see what's happening on the screen while you're writing. After each game, we'll hear as many of you read what you wrote as we can, and I encourage you to volunteer without even considering if what you wrote meets any standard you might have had in your head. It's very fun just to hear how many different directions everyone's writing goes. Then, after 45 minutes of our jam, the playwrights will return and present the world premiere reading of their brand new work.
Before we introduce tonight's playwrights, we have just a few things to go over. For those of you who are participating live via Zoom, we ask that you keep yourself muted and your video off for now. In a few minutes, though, when we start the writing jam, we'll invite you to turn your video back on, and we would love it if you do that. The show's streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. So when your video is on, you'll be seen by, many more people than are here right now, untold thousands. So if the wall behind you is filled with your plans for world domination or a map of Africa, then we understand that you'll be participating anonymously. World domination or a map. But the more of us who turn our cameras on, the more we can see each other and visually support each other, see each other laughing, clapping, giving a thumbs up, the more fun the show will be. Lastly, we invite you to open up the chat feature, which you'll find if you hover your cursor at the bottom middle of your Zoom browser screen. We'll be using the chat to give suggestions to the playwrights.
And speaking of playwright, let us introduce tonight's intrepid writers. Our first writer is the artistic director of Freestyle Repertory Theater, and her scripted plays have been produced in New York City at the Metropolitan Playhouse. These days, she's doing improv with hundreds of New York City public school children. Please welcome my personal hero, Laura Livingston.
I love being your personal hero, Ken. Thank you.
You are. How are you tonight, Laura?
I'm doing okay, in spite of having breathed the same air as hundreds of New York City public school children.
Well, I hope you find that breath a breath of life.
Sure, I do.
Good job. All right, what's your big strategy for tonight, Laura?
Keep breathing.
Good job. I think that's excellent. All right, we're going to send you off into our writer's room. And Lisa, please introduce our next playwright.
Our next playwright is a member of Freestyle Repertory Theater. Her play To Go or Not to Go was recently chosen as a winner of the Malvern Theater Company's short play writing competition with a production planned for early 2024. That's Laura Valpy. Hey, Laura Valpy, how are you today?
How's it going? I'm good. I got to, like I was saying a little bit earlier, I got to teach with Mike Durkin today, and it's always a fun time. It's always fun translating. No, I love him. we're having a good time with some crazy fifth graders who think they rule the world.
All right, but we know you rule the world. All right, off you go into our writer's
Okay.
room. And let's meet our next writer, our next playwright. As a part of the writing team with New York Theater Sports alum Sam Johnson, has written for a number of TV shows, including Beavis and Butthead, News Radio, Frasier, How I Met Your Mother, Hot in Cleveland, and What We Do in the Shadows. He also teaches TV writing at USC. Please welcome the one and only Chris Marcel.
Hello.
Hello,
I am
Chris. How
so
are you?
excited to write a spanking play.
Are you going to? Excellent job. Does that mean the play will be spanking or you will be spanking the play?
I think why not both?
Excellent
I mean,
job.
there's only and, right? So yeah,
That's
That is
right.
exactly right.
Might as well set it in Cape Horn.
yeah. Exactly.
All right, we'll send you off and we'll listen for that sound we love so much. Yeah. All right, Lisa, why don't you introduce our next playwright?
Our next playwright is an award-winning author of young adult novels, including Monument 14, Sweet, and Berserker. She spent her formative years as a storyteller, studying and performing with freestyle repertory theater, and is delighted to be back among friends tonight. Please welcome Emmy Laybourne.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Emmy, it's so
Yep.
good to see you here.
I'm delighted to be here. I can't wait to be here. I mean, I am here. I can't wait to write a play with you all.
I mean, something the world is dying to know. Are you a 10-finger typist or a hunt and pecker?
Oh, I'm a 10-finger typist.
All right.
Almost, I can almost, type without looking, but then sometimes my fingers will be off by one key and it's all just gobbledygook. So I have to keep an eye on it.
Well, we're on tenterhooks wondering what we'll get tonight. All right, off you go into the back room. We have one more playwright. Our final playwright's credits include Hollywood Nurses, recently produced at the Phoenix Theater Company in Arizona. She has written for ABC, Disney, Oxygen, PBS, NPR, and Garrison Keillor. Please welcome the amazing Sheila Head.
Hi,
Hello, Sheila. How are you?
I'm fine still.
I'm glad to hear that. Hey, Sheila, we're all very curious about the art on your wall. Can you pick one piece behind you and give us the 10-second lowdown on it?
Emmy Laybourne gave me this. It was done by a farmer in China.
Wow, excellent job. All right, hopefully that will inspire you as you're on your work tonight. But stay right there because we're going to bring the rest of our playwrights back onto the screen. And now, audience, I suggest you open your chat feature if you haven't already done so, because each playwright is about to ask for a suggestion to kickstart their play. And when they do, if you have an idea, write it in the chat. That's how we're going to solicit our suggestions from you. And I'm going to turn it over to Lisa to facilitate getting our suggestions.
Oh, right. Well, let's go in the order that you were introduced in. So, Laura Livingston, would you like to ask the audience for a suggestion?
I would. I'd like to get a setting where this play is going to take place. A setting. And don't worry, we're not going to actually build the set, so it could be anywhere. A basement, lovely. Pickle factory, the old house. Where is it? The old house of a little old lady, International Space Station, third pew from the front in church, a nursery, a pizza. Oh, these are great. Grand Canyon, backyard, igloo. All right. Oh, you guys, you're so prolific. I'm going back to the top of this list somewhere. I'm going to go to the old house of a little old lady. That's what I'm going with. Thank you, Julia.
And who's next is Valpy. Would you like to ask for a
Okay.
suggestion? Yeah.
Yes, wonderful. Inspired by our preamble to the show, what is something that could be misunderstood or even a misunderstanding that you have had in your life? I'm also not promising to not take one of these settings too, just for fun. Something that could be misunderstood. Misunderstand. The Grand Canyon, just kidding, that's a place. Oh gosh. A romantic proposal, sure. Misheard lyrics. A gesture, yep. Single versus being a couple, bad breath, okay. Driving directions, My grumpy mood was taken personally by a neighbor. You know what? Screw that. A kiss. I thought Chocolate Lab was a place where they invented. It is, Lord Livingston. It is. Swollen eyeballs. These are fabulous. You know what? I'm going to go with mood and neighbor. Grumpy mood and neighbor. Also, I want all of these. Okay, but we have to move on. Okay, thank you.
And Chris Marcel, please step.
I would like to know the favorite thing you bought in this calendar year, 2023.
Ooh, intriguing.
Wow, we have a bunch of aesthetics. Oh, tiki mug, lip gloss, lip balm, Honda Civic. I feel like the family of goats, like they should be doing the play. I'm going to go with lip balm because there were 2 lip suggestions, but like Laura, I will be using a lot of these other ones.
All right, and some of those are a Sony ZV-E10 camera, a Honda Civic, my daughter an ice cream cone, a family of goats, a perfectly ripe avocado, and a portable rice cooker. Great stuff. Emmy Laybourne.
Yes, I would love the suggestion of a song that you love. Song that makes you dance, a song that makes you cry, any song that's meaningful to you. Hello, that's the name of a song. Baker Street. Love Bites, You Are My Sunshine. Oh, no, the one by Dragonette. Fool If You Think It's Over. All My Exes Live in Texas. Happy Birthday. Oh, I love it that that's your favorite song because you hear it all the time, or a favorite song. I'm going to go with Fool If You Think It's Over. Boy, that's evocative. Fool If You Think It Over. Thank you, Bill Marsili.
Sheila Head, would you like to ask for a suggestion?
Yes, because this is a scary thing for me. I like to start or to add lines of dialogue that people give me so that other people are helping me literally write the play. So it's just like random lines of dialogue, and I'll grab a couple and maybe I'll start with it. Maybe I will. Line of dialogue, just hit me with a line of dialogue. Don't be afraid. Yeah, no, that. What the hell are you doing? What? Will you please just look at me? I can't stand your odor. Thank you. I have, what the hell are you doing? Will you please just look at me? And I can't stand your odor.
All right.
I'm going to read just a couple more just so we have them.
Please.
Green is the new blue.
Oh, I missed that
Stupid,
one.
I'm leaving. You must be kidding. I'm so empty. I'm so full. Is that your hat? If I can't dance, I don't want your revolution. We've met 8 times before. I literally just said my name. Let's meet in Seattle. Yikes. Those are great.
All right. Great job, everybody. So we are just moments away from our writers beginning to write. Here's what we're going to do, starting at the top in the order that you took them. Can everybody please go ahead and remind the audience of the suggestions that you're accepting to inspire your play? And we'll take it from there. Laura Livingston.
I asked for a setting and I got the old house of a little old lady.
All right. Second up.
I don't remember what I asked for. Oh, something that could be misunderstood. But what I took was a grumpy mood that was taken personally by a neighbor.
A grumpy mood taken personally by a neighbor. Next up.
I asked for the favorite purchase for this year, and I'm taking the utilitarian and ubiquitous lip balm.
All right. And Emmy Laybourne.
Yes, I asked for a song and I took Fool If You Think It's Over.
And finally, Sheila Head.
I asked for lines of dialogue. I got, what the hell are you doing? I can't stand your odor. Will you please just look at me?
All right. Lisa Gay Thompson and I are going to set our little timers for 45 minutes. We're going to send you off. Remember now, stay close to your phones because we're going to send you text with audience suggestions that's going to be incorporated into your play as we send them back. Yeah, all right. Lisa, do you have a timer ready?
I do. I'm ready to
My
push that
timer
button.
ready.
Ooh.
Writers, on your mark, get set, right away.
Go, baby, go. All right, everybody, as our writers are turning their video and sound off, hopefully tuning us out, we invite you now to turn on your video and say hello.
Hello, everybody. Come on, come on. It's time for the jam.
Jam it up. If you haven't already, grab some paper and a pen or pencil. Also, a quick reminder, we're streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So, you know, if you've got that dead body in the background, you might want to just keep your video off. But otherwise, we'd really appreciate you staying on because it's more fun that way. Yeah.
Now, if you move your cursor to the upper right of your screen, you'll see some options for how our windows appear on the screen, like gallery view or speaker view. You could choose whichever option you want whenever you want to. It won't affect what the rest of us see, but it's nice to see us all. So go on gallery view and let us all in.
All right, let's start the jam. Remember that improv is all about being spontaneous and supporting each other's creativity. If you've never done improv before, I've just told you the secret of the platform. It can be boiled down to 2 rules. Say yes and make your partner look good. So when you're writing, say yes to yourself. Say yes to your first idea. Every idea is a good idea at this point. Don't critique yourself as you're writing. This is like the famous terrible first draft. It's just about getting it out. And, you know, I hope that you'll also volunteer to read without deciding, you know, what should be read and what shouldn't. Just jump in. And when others are reading, keep your video on so they can see your face and we can all support one another. It also helps Ken and I to see you when you're writing. So thanks, and here we go.
All right, so we're going to start off just with a little warm-up game to get everybody writing and having fun. And this is just word association. What could be easier than that? Word association. I'm going to say a word. You write down the first word that pops into your mind. We'll say 3 words, and then we'll have people read out their 3 words. Simple, fun, and easy. So here we go. The first word is, write down the first word that pops into your mind. Cat. Second word is roller coaster. And the third word is checkbook. And now somebody go ahead and read out the 3 words you wrote down in response to those 3 words. Who's going to do it?
Dog ride money.
Excellent job. Somebody else.
Whiskers. Whee! Signature.
Excellent job. Let's have one more and then we'll do it again. Who's it going to be?
Oh, dog, fun, money.
See how easy that is? All right, here we go. One more time. I'll just say 3 words. You write down 3 words. Lightning. Golf.
What?
Golf. 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 Fuzzy.
Fussy?
Fuzzy. Fuzzy. All right. Who hasn't read yet? EJ, won't you read out your 3 words for us?
Yes, we got special, plaid pants, head.
And Karina, how about it? Will you read out your 3 words for us?
I had thunder, balls, and wuzzy.
And Karen Harrell, how about what are your 3 words?
Bolt, swing, and bear.
Beautiful job. All right, I'm going to take one more minute to do one more round, but this time, instead of just writing one word, we're going to do a 15-second stream of consciousness. So I'm going to say a word, and then you're just going to write nonstop for 15 seconds. Anything that comes pouring out of you is exactly what we want to hear you read a little later on. No editing at all. Ready? The word is haunted. 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 Five more seconds. All right, great job. Stop writing. Hey, Gordon, will you do us a favor? Oh, where did Gordon go? Come on back. Go ahead and read out what you wrote, Gordon. Just turn your microphone on for us, please.
15 seconds of haunted?
Yes, please.
Oh, I couldn't come up with 15
That's
seconds.
all right. No worries. Bill Marsili, how about it? Would you like to read?
I wrote, the mansion stood dark and angry at the top of the lonely hill. Stark moonlight, and then you call time.
All right, excellent job. That's all we're looking for. Just whatever happens, happens. Who else? Will?
I'll read it.
Carol, go
I'll
ahead.
read it. Who? Janella? Yes.
All right, Janella, go ahead.
Haunted. My house is a stranger to me. I hope I can get free and finally take a pee.
Excellent job. All right, Karen Harrell.
All right. Randy picked up moldy sandwich. Braunschweiger wiggled from the folds of the bread.
Beautiful job. And how about one more? Will, you want to read for us?
Sure. Like a phantasmagoric nightmare swimming in a blackened pool of endless shrieks.
Beautiful job. All right, last licks. Anybody want to read who hasn't had a chance to read? Boom, 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 boom. All right, excellent job. We're warm and ready to go. I'll turn it over to you, Lisa.
All right. The next game we're going to play is called Three Things. This is not the same as the improv game Three Things, but I'm going to give you three things and then give you a minute to write a short story and include all three things. Now, will you remember them? That's another story. Let's try it, see what happens. The three things are an upside down question, a green egg, and a top hat.
Upside down question mark?
Well, yeah, it can be that. It's a question.
A green egg and a
top hat.
top hat.
All right, I'll put those things in the chat. How long do they have to write, Lisa?
1 minute.
1 minute. All right. Are you ready? I'll put a minute on the stopwatch. Ready and go. Five more seconds. And that's 1 minute. All right.
Who would like to read? Oh, Steve.
Okay. The tall gentleman was bent and stooped and bent over like an upside down question mark. His top hat was the color of a green egg. He was down and out and needed a patsy. That's as far as I got.
Excellent. We can read a few more, of course, but let me just interrupt. Lisa, first of all, let me and you coordinate our time. How long do you have the writers having been writing?
I think they've been writing for 10 minutes, so it's
Okay,
about
that's
time to
exactly-
shoot them a suggestion.
Correct. That's exactly what I have as well. They've been writing for 10 minutes. So we're going to send back the first suggestion to the audience, to the writers that they're going to incorporate into their plays. Lisa, do you have one ready to go, or otherwise I do?
No, I was just going to ask if we wanted to send them, say, a line of dialogue. At this
All
point.
right, that sounds good. So we're going to offer a line of dialogue that all of the playwrights are going to put into their play. How about if everybody suggests using your chat feature one more time, what is a fun line of dialogue that all of our writers are going to put into the play? In the meanwhile, I'm going to get them ready to receive the suggestion. All right, what do we got here? Are you eating special eggs? For God's sakes, move here. Do you know the best one? All right. How about if we take this one? Here's your monkey bucket. I think that's great. Here's your monkey bucket. All right, I'm going to send it back to the writers. Lisa, why don't you continue sharing some of these wonderful stories?
All right. Julia, you had your hand up, I think.
Sure. Mr. Markle adjusted his top hat and then remembered his special green egg from Easter was still in the fridge. He peeled it quickly, but his wife, her face an upside down question mark, barged into the kitchen.
Ooh, love it. I want to know what happens next. Is there anybody else who'd like to read that one?
I can do one.
Will, please.
Will or Bill?
Oh, Bill, and
Bill,
then
you go first. Bill, you go.
Bill.
Okay. Theodore knew instinctively that if he didn't get this right, he didn't deserve to call himself a writer. He had a character, a cat in a tall striped top hat, and a title, Green Eggs and Ham.
That's
What
awesome.
could go wrong? Will.
Turn that hat upside down, give it a shake and see what comes out. Thunder and lightning, green eggs and ham. Tell me, buddy, do you know who I am?
That's awesome.
That's great.
They're like little haikus almost.
Yeah. Would anybody else like to read, or we can move on to another one?
I will.
All right, go for it.
I asked a question and it was misinterpreted. I wanted an egg donor, but somebody thought I was just green with envy. I'm going to put on a top hat and pretend I'm Abe Lincoln so people leave me alone.
Awesome job.
I love how you brought in the thing that could be misunderstood.
All right, last licks on this one. Anyone who hasn't read this one yet who would like to read theirs? It's fun and easy. All right, let's move on. So this next exercise is called the 4-line scene. The 4-line scene. And so far we've been writing narrative prose, but now we're going to ask you to write a dialogue. And the dialogue is going to have 4 lines in it. However, what we're trying to achieve somehow is not just to have any 4 lines of dialogue, but 4 lines of dialogue that give a beginning and a middle and an end. So we get the idea that the entire scene has taken place and it only took 4 lines of dialogue. So some things to think about is maybe there's a huge change in the relationship by the end of the 4 lines, or maybe one of the characters has some huge transformation in their personality or in the relationship from the beginning to the end, or maybe it has to do with the places they're going. Maybe they're heading somewhere and they finally get there, or anything that will give a sense of a beginning and a middle and an end, but you only have 4 lines of dialogue to make it happen. Does that make sense to you? All right. So again, we want to write freely and spontaneously, but there's no reason you can't, spend some time and work on it a little bit. So we're going to give you a full 2 minutes to work this out. 2 minutes.
I do have a question though.
Yes, Bill.
Does that mean that each person, does that mean 4 times that someone speaks, or is it 4 sentences?
That's a good
Because
question.
one person could go on for 5 lines. And
Yes.
does it
Thank
count
you
as
for
one?
clarifying. So it's 4 times. It's like character A, character B, character A, character B.
Okay, it doesn't have to be 1 line each.
No. They can speak for more than one sentence, but
Okay,
character
got it.
A, character B, character A, character B, and the scene is over at the end of that.
Okay.
And just dialogue, no actions, right?
Just dialogue, no actions. Right. All right. Ready and go. Thirty seconds left. Five seconds. And that's it. All right. I watch Top Chef a lot, so I'm tempted to say pencils down, hands up. But you really won't get that unless you watch Top Chef. All right. Lisa, I saw you writing. Did you write one?
I did not. I was writing down the first suggestion we sent. And
Got you. Okay. Well, I wrote one, so maybe I'll share myself. But let's see. Who would like to read out their scene in 4 lines? Anything goes. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Who's gonna? All right. Steve Smith.
Let me unmute. Okay. Here. I don't know the answer. You've got the answer. Where is it? Check your fortune cookie.
Wow, excellent job. Beautiful. Anything goes. EJ, go ahead.
It's no use rattling the door, Matthew. I locked it. Oh, come on, Mum, not again. I'm late. All the blokes are down the pub already. You'd leave your poor old mum home alone on a Saturday night with nothing but the telly. Okay, mum, please, no, don't cry. No, I'll stay in. Look, we'll watch telly. It's Downton Abbey. We love Downton Abbey, don't we, mum?
Awesome job. It's a scene in 4 lines with a beginning and a middle and an end. Who else would like to share their scene in 4 lines? Julia, all right.
Good day, sir. You are the owner of this shoe repair shop?
I am.
I'm Mr. Snelling. Do you have a problem? Your employee was unable to find my ticket. I hope you've not lost my shoes. Oh dear, that happens sometimes. Look here, I found them. So sorry for any inconvenience.
Beautiful job. Excellent. That's exactly the way it should go. Daniel, you got something you want to share with us? All right.
Sure. Are we done yet? My arms are tired. One more shovel of dirt and it'll be fully covered. And then what? Your turn.
That's excellent. That's excellent. All right. Who else? Karina, you got anything you want to read out?
Totally wrong.
No, go ahead. Whatever you did is right. There's no wrong.
Okay. Adam, it's been 15 years since I last saw you. Your trip to the store must have been to Mars. Ha. Your wit is something that your wit is something that I've missed. Actually, when I went to the store, I was stopped by Venetians. It has been quite the journey trying to come back from Venus.
Perfect. That is excellent. That is excellent. Who else? We got one, and maybe 1 or 2 more, and then we'll move on.
Janella.
Oh, silly, thank you. And then Janila, you're after Bill.
Okay.
Okay. I've been trying to see you for weeks now. Each time you say you really want to, but each time you can't. Honey, I'm torn. Each excuse makes sense, but taken all together, they don't. I do want to see you. I love you. This is just a bad time for me. When can you see me? I don't know.
Oh, beautiful job. Excellent. All right, Janila.
Stu, what kind of a guy are you looking for now? Well, Daisy, I always ask for the impossible. Sue, what is your requirement now? Daisy, I'm looking for a guy that's turned on by cellulite.
All right, awesome job. Awesome job. Well, believe it or not, it's time to send another suggestion back to the folks in the writer's room. So I had an idea for one, if I may, and that is this. I'm going to ask you to fill in the blank and put it in chat, and then we'll pick one and we'll send it back. But it goes like this. A blank enters the stage and becomes a main character in the play. So a blank enters the stage and becomes a main character in the play. Go ahead. All right, mouse, butterfly, podiatrist, toaster. A circus ringmaster. Let's do that one. That one's fun. So I'm going to send them back. A circus ringmaster enters the stage, enters and becomes a main character in the play. Beautiful job. And I'll turn it over to you, Lisa, for the next event.
All right, that sounds good. We had 2 dogs on that. That was okay. Next, the next is, do you think we have time for our first line, last line game?
I do. I think we're doing well.
All right, good. So this is a short story, and I'll give you a first line and a last line, and you'll have 2 minutes to get from one to the other. So the first line is, through a rare cloudless sky. Well, it's part of the last line. It's a phrase, I guess. And the last line is, I realize why people have things.
Things, T-H-I,
Things.
thanks.
Things, Things.
Oh, okay.
Stuff.
Say that first one again, Lisa. I'll put it in the chat.
Through a rare cloudless sky.
And the last line, I realize why people have things.
Have things.
All right. All right. 2 minutes. First line, last line. Ready, go.
Dialogue or narration.
Narration, I think, right?
That's 1 minute. Thirty seconds left. Five seconds. And time.
Woo!
Who would like to read the first line, last line?
All right, Will.
Through a rare cloudless sky that existed where? In the world as it is, or in my perception of it? I pondered that for a moment, the world created independent of my mind. Then my phone buzzed. My Amazon package arrived. I realized why people have things.
Love it. That's really nice.
Who else would like to read? It can be you, Daniel. All right.
Through a rare cloudless sky, I observed a lack of motion, a stillness that was unsettling. Which way is the earth moving? Which direction are we going? Where do I look? Too many philosophical questions for a drunken afternoon on the park. Instead, I focus on my to-do list. What must I buy at Albertsons? Should I make a trip to IKEA? I realize why people have things.
All right, it's the theme emerging here.
Beautiful job, Karen Harrell, and then Julia after Karen.
Okay, through a rare cloudless sky flew a group of squawking geese. Norm looked up and understood that spring would soon arrive. He took out his grandfather's old watch out of his overalls pocket, sighed, and wound it correctly. Then Norm uttered, I realize why people have things.
Beautiful job, Julia Norstrand.
Through a rare cloudless sky, Jake saw the vision he held of her face the last time he saw her. She was laughing. She was happy. She was on her way to a life without him. He who would never own anything, furniture or stocks. She had loved him completely, but she wanted furs and rings, things he couldn't give her. He thought, now I realize why people have things.
Oh, beautiful. Great relationship.
Yeah.
Who is next? It can be you. All right, Bill Martilli.
Okay. Through a rare cloudless sky, the castaway could see his first sliver of sunlight in weeks. He had been here for many, gaunt now, the wreck of his sailboat long plundered for food. He would die here. He'd sailed to get away from it all, but his last dying thought was, I realize why people have things.
That was really poignant. I love that. All right. Anybody else?
You know, Ken, I think we only have 15 more minutes for those
Correct.
playwrights, and I think we need to throw them a couple more suggestions. So,
All right. You got one?
yeah. How about a stage direction?
Okay, perfect. So one of the characters does something or something happens on the stage. Come up with an idea for a stage direction and pop it into your chat. Either a character does something or something happens. All right, somebody fumble. Ooh, oh, there we go. Smoke begins to swirl across the floor. That's a fun one. How about he fumbles with the crystal brandy snip? Do you want to pick one, Lisa?
No, I was just going to read a couple. A main character exits pursued by a cocaine bear. Character bows. Someone takes off their clothes. And opens a window and throws out a cell phone. Character takes out a lighter and lights a cigar. Someone sprains an ankle.
Well, how about the sprain an ankle one? That'll shake things up. All right.
You'll go ahead and send that?
I'll send it. And looking at the time, I think we should jump right to the final exercise. So maybe we skip the first person, third person, and you go right into the noun box.
Okay. All right.
All right. Take it away. I'll send them the suggestion.
Okay. The noun box. This is a game that's experimental in nature. It comes from a game that George Saunders created, or at least he published. And so we've modified it for this space. So we're going to start with 2 minutes. Again, that's the theme. And we'll write the first half of a story. There's really no other constraints for this first half. We'll just start and get to a midway point in a story in 2 minutes. All right.
Okay.
I see some questioning faces, but if you have an actual question, let me know. Otherwise, I guess you're just waiting for me to say begin.
So they're not to end the story now. They're writing up to the middle of the story.
Yes.
All
But
right.
it's not based on any kind of suggestion at all, right? It's
Right.
just a story.
Completely free form.
All right.
Yeah. .30 seconds to go. All right, that's time. So this is where it gets a little more interesting. Go through that first half of your story and circle all of the nouns. Proper nouns, nouns, whatever, anything goes. So for writing the second half, we'll be constrained by the nouns in the first half. And so write the second half of the story without introducing any new nouns and use every noun that you've circled at least once. And it'll also be 2 minutes, and you'll just wrap up the story. So let me know when you're finished.
Can you repeat that, please? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the second half of the story will be written using only the nouns that you've already put in to the space. So the other constraint is that you should use each noun at least one time.
So
In
no,
the same order they appeared the first time?
No, you don't have to do it in the same order. No.
All right. Are you going to give them an official go?
Yeah. Is everyone ready to go? Got all your nouns?
Whatever happens, happens. Have fun.
All right. So go ahead. Begin. Thirty seconds to go. Five more seconds. Wrap it up. And that's time.
All right. Before we hear some of these wonderful experiments, we're going to be able to send one more suggestion back to our writers. So I have a thought, and the thought is either a character slaps somebody, a character kisses somebody, or what's the third one in that sequence? They can choose from any of those three. A character slaps somebody, kisses somebody, or what?
What was the first one? Claps somebody?
Slaps, S-L-A-P-S.
Oh, slaps.
Ooh, or disowns somebody. Why don't we just grab that one right off the bat so you have more time to read? I'll send back the suggestion, and you folks, I'll turn it back over to Lisa to share some of those noun boxes.
All right, who would like to read? Anybody like to share one?
I guess I could.
There we go, Will.
Bill and Will.
Who first?
Bill, Bill
Me?
first. Yes.
All right. I actually, I hope this isn't cheating, but I typed it. Daryl didn't know what was going on. All he knew was that he was in trouble. He knew Kathy well enough to recognize the signs. The silence as he entered their home, the sullen shadow over her usually bright eyes, the slowness in her walk. This wasn't the look of a woman who'd had a bad day or who had received bad news. This was not sad Kathy. This was angry Kathy. Storm clouds were brewing over the living room. And then the second half, Daryl hated angry Kathy, but not as much as he feared her. He could handle a bad day or bad news. He could not handle the silence. He knew she would never tell him what the signs meant, what the silence was for. It was up to him to guess, to read the sullen shadows. No, he thought, just no.
Wow, that was wonderful.
Good. Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Will.
The verdant landscape rushed by as the gentle rock of the train, the rhythmic click-clack of the tracks lulled her to a state of near stupor. On the second half, her train trailed out behind her as she strode majestically, no longer just a part of the landscape, down towards the one who spotted her on those hypnotic tracks.
Beautiful. All right, we have just 4 minutes remaining. Let's hear some more.
If no one else wants to, I will.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Once upon a time, a civilization decided to have children rule the world. The kids fought with each other and the bad kids won. Endless suppression and cruelty, and they were proud of it. The ruler of the kids said, I want to go to hell because all my friends will be there. Well, that's the first half. Second half. Well, the children got scared and wanted a new civilization. They forced the ruler to take them back to their old civilization with minimal cruelty and some nice kids. What a world.
Very, very nice.
Very weird.
It's like a Star Trek episode.
Weird and wonderful.
Yeah. Anybody else? We have 3 minutes remaining. Daniel?
Unfortunately, my internet was cutting in and out, so I was only half doing it. So
that's all right.
Sorry.
No worries. EJ, did you read? Oh, Steve. Awesome. All right, we'll go to Steve.
I go if no one else wants to. Let's see. The rag man picked up his old work boots and began smacking them together. Mud flew off in all directions. He opened the door and stepped inside, his bare feet making no sound. That's the first half. The man closed the door silently behind him. He placed his boots next to the door. He wiped a small piece of mud off his feet. That's all I got.
Very, very cool. All right. I have 2 more minutes for the writers. Is that what you have, Lisa?
I'll check. Ken, yes, I have 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Okay, perfect. We'll give them 1 minute and 50 seconds. No more suggestions are going back. Is there a final reader or two for the noun box? EJ, did you want to, or was I just pressuring you?
I'll do it. I'll give it a go. The train carriage was empty except for a man behind a copy of the Financial Times. He peered over the top of the pink pages, eyeing me cautiously. I was applying more makeup. Now I was safely away from the village, I could rub more purple amethyst across my eyelids, and more lip potion was always a good idea. In part 2, it was when I squirted a healthy dose of seductive siren, the pink pages were lowered, and the small man cleared his throat. Madam, he began, this is a small railway carriage, and the spraying of your, perfume is not a good idea. He waved his copy of the Financial Times like Lady Windermere's fan as I lowered my eyelids and hurriedly began to collect the makeup.
Beautiful job.
Wow,
Excellent.
so many nouns too.
Yes. Little did I realize.
Well, we have under a minute remaining, so unless there's anyone who wants to sneak one more in, Lisa, do you happen to have easily accessible the website you shared with me, where there's the ability to do that with the windows and the computer screen, or maybe
You know what? I will find it when we take our break.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a website that has this capability where you put in, say, in one box, you'll say you start with 50 words, and the next box you're going to do 200 words. So you'll write the first 50 words, and the app will kind of stop you at that point. It won't let you put in any more than 50. And then you have to write 200 words more without using any more words than what was there. And it's not just nouns, it's every word. So it's a huge constraint, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
I just love the way this distills. I'd love to talk more about what it felt like or do it more, but another day.
Yeah. And we have a talk back session after the show tonight. So after the final scene, the final play is read, whoever wants to, just sticks around and chats about the work or about the process or about anything. And perhaps at that point, we can chat a little bit more about this, and we'll be able to share that website with you. In the meantime, I've already given our writers the nod to come back, so they're filtering back into the room. Let's give ourselves a huge round of applause. That was an awesome jam, everybody. Thank you so much for participating in it. I'm going to turn it right back over to you, Lisa, for the top there.
All right. Well, let's see where the heck we are. Yes. Yeah. Thanks for a fun jam.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, we want to welcome back the playwrights as they trickle in from the writing room. And how was it out there?
Great. I'm still making a couple changes. I'm just putting some
Don't tell anyone.
T's and dotting some I's over here. But lots of fun. Which of you suggested the circus master?
Oh, I'm afraid it's all anonymous.
Oh, well, she outed her.
I felt like there was a
Thank you,
theme
Jay.
building with like monkey and circus.
Yeah.
I was expecting peanuts.
As our playwrights are coming back, I went ahead and I put some links in the chat. Lisa, you want to tell everybody about those links?
Yeah, I would. If you'd like to take this opportunity, this moment to check out our companies, Synergy Theater and Freestyle Rep, maybe make a much appreciated donation. Register for next month's Right Away, which is May 22nd. For the next 10 minutes, we're going to take an intermission where the playwrights will cast their plays and exchange their plays, send them out. And you're free to watch the chaos unfold or to step away, get a drink, and come back. So I think it's 26 after the hour. So if we come back at 36 after the hour, we'll commence with the readings of the new plays. The spanking plays.
I can't wait to hear them.
Oh, yes, they're going to be very naughty.
Yeah. All right.
What
Good
would you
intermission, everybody. We'll see you in
consider-
10 minutes.
What would you consider a normal donation? Or a range or something, some starting point?
I would say personally, somewhere around $25 would be
a minute.
$25 a minute of airtime, yes. But of course, it is totally up to you and your generosity, and anything is very much appreciated.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for asking. All right.
Okay.
That was a great jam. Lisa came up with a lot of innovative stuff for that jam. So that was really a fun one.
It was fun. I wish we had like twice the amount of time though.
Yeah.
You too.
Same.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready to go? Laura Livingston, do you want to cast your play?
Yeah, I do. I think I'm gonna really use our guests here. I'd like Emmy Laybourne to be the little old lady. She's character 1. I'd like Chris Marcel to read character 2.
Okay.
A charming gentleman, and Sheila Head be the ringmaster. Would you? Thank you.
Yes.
All right, well done. Who is up next? I'm sorry, I don't have the order here. Laura Valpy.
Okay, cool. I want everyone to do everything. Let's have, how about Ken, will you be Bernard? Please, oh, please.
I will be honored.
Emmy, will you
Yes.
be Jill?
Of course.
Please. And Lisa, will you be the ringmaster?
Yeah.
Please, oh, please. Let's do that. And I'll write that on my thing and send it out.
All right, that brings us to Chris.
Okay. Laura Livingston, will you be Antonia? Sheila, will you be Flavia?
Yes.
Emmy Laybourne, will you be the executioner?
Pleasure.
Ken, will you be Paulus Tiberius Barnum?
I would love to.
And there's there's music director. You want to take that, Valpy? Okay.
All right, Emmy Laybourne.
Yeah. Sheila, you will play Mama Giannini. Mama Giannini is an old Italian lady with a thick Mario Brothers accent, thick as you can do it, who in the middle becomes a regular hard-ass New Yorker. Chris, you are Harold Mayer, a snooty New York Times food critic who is
Okay.
bereaved because Mama Giannini has been ruining his life. And Valpy, you are circus master Sandy, Harold's girlfriend who Mama Giannini has stolen from him.
And
Wow.
Sheila.
That was a lot
three.
of thinking in the time.
Yeah. I
That's
forgot to
great.
put my name on mine. It's called Bomb Squad. Emmy, if you could read Liza, and Chris, if you could read Salvador, and Ken, if you could read Robot Ringmaster.
Robot Ringmaster.
Yeah, and I'll do like the radio voice directions.
All right, like it already.
All right, I think that's everybody, right?
Yes,
Do we
but
have
I do
Laura's
not
play?
have all the plays yet.
Oh, I haven't sent mine yet.
Okay.
I guess I better do that.
All right, let's go ahead and send them out. We have 6 minutes remaining, folks. 6 more minutes. Did I get everybody? Did I miss anyone? No, we're good. All right, send them out.
Great. I'm going to run to the ladies' room. I'll be right
Now's the time.
You have a ladies' room in your house?
back. It's all genders, actually.
So modern.
Laura, did you send yours?
No, I'm very slow.
That's okay. I just want
And
to
I
make sure.
just sent mine. If you were talking to me, I just sent mine.
Sorry, I keep forgetting.
No, it's okay. Mine
lots
says
of
Valpy's play.
Laura's.
No,
It's all the Laura's.
whatever. All right, I'm going to also run to the all gendered restroom and grab myself a beverage.
They're on the house.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah.
Funny again.
All
It's
right.
always funny.
Till someone loses something. I don't know.
Till someone urinates on the floor.
Oh, and when you come back from intermission, could you ask them, did you intermiss me? I always
All right, so Chris is Romans. And Bomb Squad is Sheila. We have 4 minutes, writer. 4 minutes. Well done, Lisa.
Yeah, it just goes so fast.
Yeah, I hope you had fun. Those exercises were really terrific.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, we didn't even do them all.
Yeah, I've not received Valpies, have you? Oh, there it is.
I have.
Val. All right, I got it.
I'm perusing it at the moment.
All right, and you'll kick off the intermission with that spiel there, right? You'll bring us back when the time comes?
Yeah.
All right.
My best.
You are doing such a great job. Even if you weren't, I would say that, but you are.
Thanks, Ken. You're so sweet.
Oh my God, you guys, I just realized that it wasn't a money bucket, it was a monkey bucket.
It was a monkey bucket.
Well,
I like it either way.
it's a money bucket in mine. Oh, well. Yeah, what can you do?
Smells better.
All right, I have 2 more minutes, friends. 2 more minutes. Janila, if you're out there, we are going to ask everybody to turn their cameras off when the second act begins. So if you're out there and you hear us, can you kindly turn your video off? Thank you very much. 1 minute, everybody. All right, shall we do it?
Sure, let's do it. Hey, audience, come on back. Grab your refreshments and join us back in the theater. And while you're gathering, let me take this time to invite you to join, if you haven't already, our Facebook page right away afterwards. It's for people who've been part of a right away performance, performers, jam members, and would like to continue a conversation about the show or about writing in general.
Now, we ask that you keep your camera off during the reading of the plays. Also, your microphones off, please. If you would rather not see the names of everybody with our cameras off, then what you want to do is click on Hide Non-Video Participants, which you can do by moving your cursor to the lower left, click on Video Options, and scroll down to Hide Non-Video Participants, and you check that off. That won't affect what the rest of us all see, but you will only see the people who are reading at any given time, and that's the best way to experience the plays. At the end of each reading, it is fun to pop your camera back on for a moment and give the playwrights a nice round of applause.
Let's review the suggestions we sent to all the playwrights while they were writing. Jump in, Ken, if I get anything wrong.
All right.
First, we sent, here's your monkey bucket, which may or may not have been heard as Money Bucket. And the second was a something enters the stage.
A circus ringmaster.
A circus ringmaster enters the stage and becomes a major character in the play. Somebody sprained an ankle after that. And then somebody slaps someone, kissed someone, or disowned someone.
There it is.
Playwright's choice. Now,
right.
without further ado, we will begin with Laura Livingston introducing her play.
All right, then. I asked for a setting and I got The Old House of a Little Old Lady, which is where this is taking place. It starts out with an old lady talking to an older gentleman, and I don't think I have much stage directions, but I'll hop in. If you hear a mumbly voice, that's me. If I suddenly decide I need to read a stage direction. All right, so here it begins. The Old House of a Little Old Lady.
What you don't understand is just how lonely you are. I was so completely alone, just sitting here by myself. You're all by yourself. I mean, I couldn't mow the lawn, never did it before in my life, or fix the car. I didn't even know how to balance the checkbook. I'm not proud of it. I'm ashamed of it. I couldn't open that middle window there without straining my back. After Herb died, I didn't even put the Christmas decorations away because the boxes were too heavy. So Jeff and I, we got along okay. He was here anyway, helping me clean out the garage, and he was nice enough. Constant talking got to me. I mean, on and on and on. And he never ate a vegetable.
Here's your money bucket.
What's that?
Here's your monkey bucket.
My monkey bucket. Thank you, dear. At first, I thought you said money bucket. Ah, I got a little excited at that.
No, Mrs. Johnson.
Oh, call me Amelia.
All right, then, Amelia, here's your monkey bucket, the one with the monkeys on it. Isn't that why you asked me to come help you clean out your attic? To help you find the bucket with the monkeys on it?
Thank you. My monkey bucket. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you.
Yes, you can call me Jerry.
Oh, oh, Jerry, you're a dear to help with the attic.
I'm glad to, Amelia.
Jeff, he was the one who...
The one after Herb.
Yes, Jeff found that monkey bucket in the garage. Herb and I had brought it home from a vacation we took at the beach. It reminded me of Herb, and I felt, well, pretty downcast. And Jeff filled the bucket full of laughter. We had a wonderful time then, me and Jeff.
It must have been lonely after he died.
Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, here in the middle parlor. See the amazing Amelia Johnson, the widow of Old Manor Road, and Jerry, the charming gentleman who's never recovered. Watch them fall gently in love. Experience the heartache of how little time they have left. See the monkey bucket spin, spin, spin on the floor where Jerry has absent-mindedly dropped it. And in memories of Herb and Jeff, or turn your eyes to the kitchen. Yes, it's the kitchen of 53 years ago. Thrilled to the entrance of the young Amelia.
Jerry, don't chase me.
Stop. Amelia, I need to tell you something.
My ankle. Oh,
Amelia, are you all right?
It really hurts. I think I sprained it.
Here, let me help you. Sit in the chair. I'll get some ice.
Oh, yes. Put it in that bucket there, the one with the monkeys on it.
Here, let me. Is that better?
Some.
Amelia, I just have to tell you.
She playfully slapped.
Jerry, you have the funniest stuff. Don't you love this bucket? Herb gave it to me. Herb Johnson from our honeymoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, direct your gaze to the attic, land of the memories of hopes and dreams.
And that's the end.
Wonderful.
That's awesome. If you want to pop on for just a moment, folks, and give the playwrights and actors a round of applause. Beautiful job. Thank you so much. All right. Back into the darkness. Back. And it's time for Laura Valpy's play. Remind us of your suggestion, Laura, please.
Yes, absolutely. I got that a grumpy mood was taken personally by a neighbor. And I don't really have a title of this play. We'll call it Grumpy Neighbor for now, but who knows? We'll start with Emmy and Ken, and I will pop off and read stage directions. And here we go, Grumpy Neighbor. An apartment hallway. Jill stands at her doorway with the door only half open. Bernard, who walks with a cane, is in the hallway.
So I didn't know, if someone had taken it or what. Have you, so I didn't know if I should call you, but I didn't think I ever got your phone number, So, I'm just down the hall. If you ever need anything, you could give me your number and I could always give you a call.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you. It's all fine now. It was just a misunderstanding. So I am going to get back to...
Because, it was very weird that there was a big rolled up carpet outside of your door, plus that chair. That chair looked like a new chair. It still had the tags on it.
Yes, it's a new chair. I just bought it from Home Goods and they delivered it. That's why it still had the tags on it.
Okay, yeah, because I thought it was kind of strange that there was a new chair and a new carpet outside your door. I didn't think you were moving in or moving out, I hadn't heard.
No, I'm still here, yeah, just like you. But thanks again. And
because it was so strange. I said to myself when I walked by later and the chair wasn't there. And I said to myself, that's strange. I could swear there was a chair there before with the rolled up carpet.
And there was.
But then I thought it went missing because the chair was gone, but the rolled up carpet was still there. So I thought maybe someone took the chair because if you were home, you would have taken both the chair and the carpet inside. So I didn't think you were home. Yes. I thought someone took it.
Yes. Well, my mother-in-law took it. Well, she took it inside because she decided to show up unannounced. And she has our keys. So she took it inside, but the carpet was too heavy for her. So it's all good. It's all fine now. I understand why you were worried. But I promise there's nothing to worry about. No one has taken things from the hallway.
Here's your money bucket.
Jill opens the door all the way and grabs her money bucket.
How do you have my money bucket? What the hell are you doing with my money bucket, Mr. Broward?
I'm returning it to you.
Well, thank you. Where did you get this? Were you inside my apartment?
Well, yes, of course.
Of course?
Of course. I was worried that someone had taken your chair. So I wanted to make sure before I called the cops. I got the spare key from the super.
That is not supposed to happen.
Because like I said, you've never given me your phone number. So I didn't know how to call you. So you should probably give me your phone number in case there's ever anything you should need.
If there's anything I should need, how does it help if you have my phone number?
Well, if you give me your phone number, then naturally I would give you my phone number. Then we would have each other's phone numbers. If there's anything one of us should need.
I need to know how and why you were in my apartment and why the hell you would take my bucket that I keep on the top shelf of my closet in the back.
Oh, I see.
What? What do you see?
I was just trying to be neighborly and help you out since you are all alone here with young children to raise.
Alone? How do you know that?
But if you don't want my help,
Why do you think I'm alone? And how is that any of your business?
well, I could have called 311 with a noise complaint with all that shouting between you and your husband. Oh, I'm sorry, ex-husband.
We're taking a little break. And oh my God, how's your business?
But I was trying to be neighborly. Maybe you should try it.
A ringmaster enters wearing tails and a topcoat, the whole getup. The apartment walls fly out. The lights go dark, save for a spotlight on the ringmaster.
Ladies and gentlemen, goyles and ghouls, toddlers and tricksters, behold the dynamic duo of danger.
Spotlights hit Jill and Bernard on platforms opposite-ended from each other, high up in the air. Bernard still has his cane. Jill holds her money bucket.
They will perform a daring Diablo act upon the high wire, 35 feet in the air. Nosy neighbors in a never-before-seen act of competition. Who can traverse the high wire to the other side first? Yes, they must pass by each other to accomplish the feat.
Drum roll. Jill and Bernard start on their balancing high wire journey. Jill slips, spraining an ankle. She barely catches herself with her arms, but her money bucket falls far, far to the ground. Bernard, using his cane for balance, inches closer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the feat is almost complete. Just one small step over his opponent, and he will be the winner.
Bernard pauses, lowers the hook of his cane so Jill can grab a hold. He helps her to safety.
Thank you, Bernard.
It's the neighborly thing to do.
Bernard kisses her. Jill slaps him. He loses his balance, slips and barely catches himself. She throws his cane to the ground, and with her sprained ankle steps over him on the high wire and makes it to the other side.
Mind your own business, Mr. Broward.
She stands on the platform in triumph. The drum roll finishes in a clash. End of play.
Yes.
Thanks for the reading.
That was a lot.
I thought I was gonna get the goyle.
If you didn't
Awesome.
send those texts with only a couple of minutes left, I would have added more, would have had to finish.
Wonderful, wonderful job. All right, Chris, Marcel, take it away.
All right. My suggestion was an item that you enjoyed buying this year, and I chose lip balm. And so naturally that leads you to ancient Rome, where this play is set. And do I need to say anything else? I always forget.
I think you're good. Just will you be reading some stage directions?
I will be reading some stage directions, especially towards the end.
All right.
Okay, so we are at a public execution in ancient Rome.
Lip balm, Flavia. It is made from the wax of the bee.
Thanks. My lips are a crime scene.
Mine too. I feel like they're about to fall off my face.
Oh, it's so good not to talk like we're in ancient Rome, isn't it? My dear Antonia, surely such a balm must have cost you dearly.
It is no matter, Flavia.
Yeah.
Also, not to be pedantic, but to us, it's not ancient Rome. It's just Rome.
Oh, I always get that mixed up. Anyway, that's the job, isn't it? When you're in a drum and bugle corps, chap lips are part of the territory.
Yeah, but just once, I'd like to be a drummer, just banging away while the crowd gets to see your smiling face while we're hidden by our stupid bugles.
Should they be smiling though? I mean, it's a public execution.
Yeah, it's crazy they have to smile.
Right? Capital punishment is nothing to be glad about.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. I was thinking no one's looking at them anyway.
Also a really good point.
I hate it here anyway. I hate the bugle. It's the devil's trumpet. I only play it because it was my father's dream.
Oh, he made you practice all the time? Because my parents were slave drivers. And then when they got home from work, they made me practice.
Well, you were lucky. My dad left us when I was 4. Being a bugler was his dream, but he fought all the time with his boss at the zoo where he fed the primates. And one day he was just like, "Here's your monkey bucket," and swung it at his boss and killed him. And we never saw him again.
Oh, so you're living his dream. There's something beautiful in that.
Actually, my mother told me his dream was to win the lottery and leave us, so not really.
Bugles, the execution is about to begin. Play executioner's theme.
I have to say, for someone who hates her job, you sound really good today, like really in the pocket.
Thank you. There's just something special about today.
Yeah.
Friends, Romans, execution buffs, welcome to today's bloody ritual powered by Little Caesars Pizza. Let's meet our Timber Axe Company victim of the day, a circus ringmaster named Paulus Tiberius Barnum.
Accompanied by shirtless oiled guards, as you might see in Cape Horn, Paulus Tiberius Barnum is brought to the execution stand.
There's something about this man I find stirring.
It's because they're oiled. It's a cheap effect, but it always works.
Not him, you peeling lip dolt.
Paulus Tiberius Barnum, excited to be here?
No.
Of course not. You can't but think of the roads not taken.
In my defense, killing someone by giving them a fatal blow to the head with a monkey bucket is a victimless crime.
Flavia, could this man be my father?
How would I know? Does he look like your father?
I can't tell. I wouldn't be able to recognize him in the top hat, colorful frock coat, and loudly striped pants that he's wearing.
Anyway, PT, you're going to be fulfilling a lot of dreams of the bloodthirsty public by getting your head cut off with an axe. But what dreams are you losing?
Oh, that's a tough one. But at the top of the list has been my dream of winning the lottery and leaving the people I love behind to twist slowly in the wind.
Flavia, that's Daddy.
I guess so. Wow, what a shithead.
Well, if you're ready, please put your head on the executioner's block, sponsored by the Roman military.
I have to let him know I'm here. I'm going to play him the song my mother said was his favorite.
That's the Tiber Axe Company jingle.
I know. Daddy!
Flavia slaps her.
Get a hold of yourself. Interfering with an execution is a capital crime.
But saving my father might make me feel like my life had a purpose.
She starts running to the execution platform.
What do you know? When you slapped me, I realized I love you.
She runs after her and throws her bugle at Antonia. Antonia stumbles and falls.
Oh, my ankle!
And here comes the axe.
Oh, my.
Chopping sound. The crowd goes wild.
So dark.
I was gonna, they were gonna like say I love you, and then I had to come back. So it's really their fault.
That doesn't really make any sense, but I
I'll
like
start
the
now.
play anyway.
Oh, love it. Everyone
All
slave
right.
drivers and then they came home. Love
Yeah.
it.
Beautiful job. That brings us to Emmy Laybourne.
Wonderful. All right, my play was based on the suggestion of Fool If You Think It's Over. The setting, let's see. Valpy, you'll come on. Oh, there you go. Look at you. You're so good. The setting is a famous New York pizzeria. Framed photos of the previous owners going back a generation line the greasy walls. Behind the counter is Mama Giannini. She is a gray-haired lady in an apron slinging dough. Harold Mayer, a food critic for the New York Times, enters.
You're a fool if you think it's over, this feud of ours.
Mr. Food Critic, what a pleasure to see you.
Don't you dare.
Don't I dare what? Say it's a pleasure? But it is. You look wonderful, so happy and red in the face. You have a sunburn?
I'm sorry, okay? Is that what you want to hear?
I'm so old and deaf. I cannot hear you. What?
I'm sorry I wrote a bad review for your shitty little pizza place, okay?
It's not a great apology when it has a word shit in it.
Take that wig off.
Senor, please calm down. You give yourself an attack of the heart.
Don't you wish? You wish my heart would give out right here and I'd die right here. What a great story that would make. You'd be in the paper. World the famous food critic Harold Meyer drops a dead and Dingy has a kitchen pizzeria.
Come on, you're not that famous.
You know what? Here's your money bucket.
He removes a small tin pail from his overcoat pocket. Side note, I definitely thought it was money bucket, not monkey bucket. Sorry about that, folks. It's filled with $100 bills. He puts it on the counter.
Hey, what's this? A tip?
Yes, it's a tip. Sure, whatever you want. Just give me my girlfriend back.
No.
My girlfriend, Sandra. Look, okay, I didn't appreciate her. I see that now. She deserves better than how I treated her. I'll treat her better.
I don't know the Sandra of who you speak.
You've taken everything from me. My job, my car, my friends from Yale.
You people from Yale. You always have to work it into the conversation.
Oh, that's cruel. You took everything from me, but my girlfriend, that was the last straw.
Send Mr. Famous a food critic. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're evil. You're a devious criminal jerk lady. I bet you're not even old.
You wrote that Gianni's Pizza is a hovel. What a once a beloved Hell's Kitchen staple has become a joke. The crust is an insult to cardboard, and the cheese is more like caulking putty than a dairy product. This critic isn't even sure Mama Gianni is Italian or even old, though the pizzeria certainly smells like a funeral home. How do you think that would make someone feel, Mr. Fancy Food Critic?
Mama Giannini straightens her posture and removes her wig. She's maybe 50 years old and gorgeous. A circus ringmaster enters from the back kitchen.
Well, hello, Harold.
Sandy, what the hell are you wearing?
I've joined the circus. I'm going to be a ringmaster.
But you don't like the circus. We've never even gone.
The circus master comes close to Mama Giannini. Mama Giannini puts her arm around her.
Tell him.
We've never been because it was too painful for me to go. When I go to the circus, I see the elephants and the clowns, and it breaks my heart that I can't be down with them.
Why didn't you tell me?
You're world famous food critic for the New York Times.
Not that famous. But how did you get the job?
It was Mama. She befriended me. She listened. She heard me speak of my dream, and then she helped me train up my act.
They kiss.
God damn it, get your hands off my girlfriend.
He tries to scramble over the counter, but falls.
Ow, my ankle.
Ah, it's a nasty sprain you got there.
I don't understand why. Why did you do this to me?
I come from a long line of pizza makers. Pizza's in my blood, but I'm not that good at it, okay? My great-great-great-grandfather was on the Mayflower, the only Italian they allowed aboard. And generation after generation, we've only gotten worse. We've lost the magic. When you wrote that review, I just snapped. That's why I got you fired and put sugar into the gas tank of your Audi and hacked your phone to send your Yale friends texts that were just a little too pedestrian.
Yaleys can't stand pedestrian humor.
Circus master slaps Mama Giannini.
And I suppose it's why you seduced me too, just to get back at him?
Circus master slaps Mama Giannini again.
No, not at all. I did it because I've always loved the ringmaster.
They kiss. Harold weeps. The end. Sheila, that was a chilling transformation.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, my friends, we do have one more play to share with you tonight. Before we get to Sheila Head's play, let me make this following announcement. We are going to have a talk back after the reading, after the show. So if you want to stick around after the show is over and talk about the plays or ask writers the question, any questions you might have, or share some insights, or if there's anything you want to talk about the jam, read anything that got left out, or talk about the exercises, we hang around for about 10 minutes and we do it. So please join us after the show for our talk back. And now, without any further ado, our final play of the evening goes to Sheila Head.
Hi. Okay, this takes place in a bank vault, and it's with a bomb squad. And I'll read anything that I've forgotten to assign. Here we go. A bank vault. Liza and Salvador, the best bomb diffusers from the federal bomb squad, are hunkered over a bomb. Liza works furiously.
Check the line.
It's checked.
I need a needle nose.
Pliers?
Yes, pliers.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm trying to save the ding dang city from blowing sky high, Salvador. What the heck?
With needle nose pliers?
Yes, it's a tool. It's a tool we use. Needle nose pliers are tools.
Tools that crafty women use to make jewelry in their crafting rooms.
You want to get in here, stink boy? You want to get in here with your stupid fat hands and try to
beep, beep, beep. Liza scrambles, the beeping stops.
Will you please hand me a small pair of needle nose pliers, stat?
Here. I'm trying to hand them to you. Will you please just look at me? They are right here.
Sal, I am sweating like a sinner in church. Please place the tool in my open palm that is above my head.
You're not even going to look at me.
I am saving a city. I cannot take my eyes off of this bomb because if this wire so much as touches.
I cannot take my eyes off of you, Liza. And if we can't make it as a couple, I don't want to live.
You must be kidding. Please.
Got you to look at me. Here you go. Here are your pliers.
Liza works furiously in a quiet bomb squad kind of way.
You're welcome.
I've got about 3 viable wicking devices. I really can't with your shenanigans right now.
Maybe you need something crafty to figure it out. Here's your monkey bucket.
He tosses a bucket with an illustration of Curious George on it against the wall behind them.
So help me God, Zal, did you just throw my lucky lunch pail?
I did. I was reckless with your cherished superstitions.
Beep, beep, beep. Liza jumps up, retrieves her bucket, returns to the bomb, works furiously. It stops beeping.
Are you going to let me do anything at all, or is it just you doing the heroics?
I'm saving lives.
And yet, you are fantastically reckless with my heart.
Salvador, drop the topic. We can sort out our situation later.
Later. Always later. What if there is no later?
Wait a minute. This is an incomplete wicking system. This is clearly an improvised explosive device. Okay. I need to determine if there's a chemical charge.
Damn it, we need to determine if there's a chemical charge. It's we, Liza. When we're at work, it's we.
We're going to need the portable X-ray system in here so we can...
To see if you have an actual heart.
Darling, please, focus. Call for the robot and have it deliver the X-ray.
Salvador uses the walkie on his vest.
This is X1 on scene. We need robotics to bring us the X-ray. We have an improvised device that may have a chemical charge.
10-4-X1, robotics deployed with device. A robotic ringmaster enters.
Right up, step right up. See the portable X-ray that could save your life. The bomb diffusing squad's magical life-saving portable X-ray is right here. And it could be the last time it is ever used. Nobody knows. So buy a ticket and step right up.
Thanks.
Zal takes the portable X-ray and hands it to Liza.
Will she be able to diffuse the device here in the center ring, or will it all blow sky high and potentially pepper the entire metro area with deadly chemicals or nuclear shrapnel? No one knows unless you buy a ticket and enter the tent. It's the event of a lifetime.
Darling, please ask it to go.
Thanks. That was nice. You can go now.
Robot exits.
Oh, Salvador. It has a chemical component. There is a timer, but it is deep inside the package. I'm not sure how.
Liza stands and turns toward him.
Oh, my ankle. Oh, fudge. Oh, manatee poops. Ah!
You've always had such thin ankles. Very attractive. No cankles for you. Here, let me help you stand.
No, please stay away. I can't stand your odor.
It's fear sweat. This is a stressful situation. My heart is breaking. And there's a bomb in this bank vault that needs to be diffused.
Then diffuse it. When we first met, you diffused all kinds of bombs. You even put a Molotov cocktail out by putting the flame in your gorgeous mouth and snuffing it. You were dangerous and dashing, and now you're just a fierce, stinking crybaby.
If I defuse this bomb...
There was never an if in your vocabulary. You wouldn't even wear a bomb suit. You'd strip down to your undershirt and jeans and light a cigarette and walk into fire like some kind of crazy god.
Smoking is disgusting. We both agreed on that.
You were a smoldering Adonis. Our love ruined you.
Zal strides over to the bomb, bites it apart with his teeth. The bomb beeps twice and stops.
The world is safe again.
Liza limps over to him and slaps him.
That was stupid and dangerous.
They kiss.
And so flippin' hot.
May I pick you up and carry you out?
It's sexier if you just do it.
I'm getting a lot of mixed signals, Liza.
She kisses him and picks him up and carries him out. The end.
That's great, Sheila.
Oh,
A
lot of levels.
Was wonderful.
well, I guess that's it for this month's Right Away. We hope you'll join us next month. We'll be gathering again on May 22nd. Some of us will be hosting and some of us will be writing. Please keep an eye on your email to find out who exactly that will be. You can register now in the link we shared in the chat a little bit earlier. So let's just come back on and please give the playwrights a round of applause and all the actors who so bravely did their cold readings as well.
Thank you all so much for being here. Laura, do we have a thing or are we moving right to the talk back?
Well, I do have a thing, but I'm having trouble because I never do this. But I will just say the thing is this. Here it is. It is the folks who have helped us do this over the past 3 years now. Folks who have gone to our websites and made donations. A long list of people who have generously given to both of our companies, Freestyle Repertory Theater and Synergy Theater. Some of them are names of people who are here now and names of people that you have recognized. And of course, we at Freestyle Rep would be very remiss if we didn't acknowledge the funding of the New York State Council on the Arts and the Department of Cultural Affairs. So if you would like to give donations, go to our websites, and we appreciate it very much. Also, we very much appreciate you being here, and we hope to see you on May 22nd.
All right. Excellent job. And thank you very much. We are going to wrap up the official part of our show. And if you're sticking around for the talk back, please stay right where you are. If you need to sign off, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next time at Right Away. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
And if you are sticking around for our talk back, come on back on screen, turn your videos on, and let's say hello. Boom, boom, boom. Hello. I will tell everybody that I'm having a little bit of a Zoom issue here, and I might just disappear. And if I do, I will try to come back. But I seem to be getting knocked off a little bit. But right now, it seems to be stable. So hello, everybody, and welcome. And so, yeah, this is just a casual opportunity to chat a little bit about the jam or the plays. And if anybody has questions for the playwrights or questions for Lisa or I about the jam, we could just dig in and have a conversation. If nothing else, if nobody's kicking anything off about the plays, then Lisa, if you want to talk about some of the exercises we did in the jam, especially that noun box, that was really interesting. I think the writers would like to hear about that as well.
Yeah, so this was a really fun game that Ken and I improvised based on a writing exercise that George Saunders shared. I think he wrote about it. So in this exercise, you would write the beginning of a story, and you'd write until you'd used 50 unique words. And then you would write the next, say, 200 words, only using the words that were in your 50-word bucket. No other words. And someone created an app that allows you to do that, and it counts for you. And so we couldn't do that quite, but what we did is we had the folks write the first half of a story, so the first act of a 2-act story, and then, without knowing what was coming, and then go back and circle all the nouns, and then write the second half of the story only using those nouns, not introducing any others, and being sure to include all of them.
How fun. How'd it go?
I think it went well. What do you think, Ken?
Yeah, it went really well. The writing turned out to sound very poetic. Everybody who read had a certain poetic air to the writing. Honestly, they were going by so fast, I couldn't really tell if they were only using the nouns from the first half or not. But just assuming they were, it was kind of cool. And everybody was forced just to write something they would not have written otherwise because they were restricted to those words. And everybody seemed to kind of have fun with it. There was a little bit of, like eye rolling at first, confusion, not eye rolling, but it took them a while to get what the idea was. But once they got it, then people seemed to have a great time with it. Bill, you were one of the people doing it. Did you have any particular thoughts or feedback on that one?
Who are you speaking to?
Bill Barsili.
Oh, Bill.
You're on mute, Bill.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I had never done that particular exercise before, and I found myself thinking, next time, my first sentence is going to be, David loved to read aloud from the thesaurus. And then I just like rattle off 105 nouns unrelated, so that when you blew time for the second half, I could just write whatever I wanted.
This seems like a strategy you will not have a lot of opportunities to employ.
Well, yeah, it was fun. I often find I have the most fun when there's when I have to write under some kind of limitation that I haven't encountered before. So, especially because I think at first you just said, write a short story, and there was absolutely no, I said, is that it? We just start writing any kind of a story?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were going to throw a curveball in halfway. So it's just like, but no, I enjoyed it.
A question for Ken and Lisa. When you guys give an exercise like that, how many people of the audience usually have the opportunity to read their work? I'm sure you can't do everybody because that would take the whole time, 45 minutes, I would think.
Yeah, with the shorter games, a lot of people can read, but then as we go, I guess it does get a little constricted. And then if a lot of people want to read, we'll just do fewer games. We kind of prepare more than we need.
Yeah, I don't think we were ever given more than 2 minutes to do any one thing, so none of them were very long.
I see. That makes sense.
Yeah, we usually run out of volunteers before we run out of time, I would say, for each exercise to be read.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Karen, what did you think of the jam tonight? They were a little bit more challenging all around, I think, the exercises.
Yeah, they definitely were. I might it was wary proceeding.
But people stepped up and did a good job, I thought.
Oh yeah, some real interesting ones and some fun, quirky twists to things that, you just can't imagine they come out of somebody, and it's just so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And some great reading. Great acting.
About the plays, I thought the plays were longer tonight than they've been the past couple of write-aways. Was anybody else realizing that? What was making you churn out such stuff? Yeah.
I usually end up with like 2 pages. You're right. Mine was like slightly a little bit longer, a little bit wordier than I normally manage in 45 minutes. I was inspired by actual events. Somebody else who was making a joke about actual events. But the grumpy neighbor thing, it's like when there's just, taking real events and then getting to play with them and go further. I found myself like, I don't know, like, I don't know. It's, once it started, sometimes it takes maybe it's just that normally it takes a while for it to start. I don't know.
I enjoyed the character I got to read in yours very much.
Yeah,
you were great.
Both of them.
I love that.
Great. Yeah. When I started this time, I came at it a little bit of a different way. I was very excited to be working with Sheila Head, who is a longtime collaborator of mine. And I thought, what could I write for Sheila?
Oh my God, so perfect.
I could just play into her
amazing.
And so then I had this whole idea that she would be this one. So I, started getting the idea. Okay, I knew, I took pizzeria was another suggestion that I took from the list. I forgot to mention that. So I knew we were in a pizzeria. I knew it was Fool to Think It's Over. So I got the idea of a vendetta. And I thought, okay, she'll be one character, turn into another character. And so by the time I started writing, I had a whole beginning, middle, and end that I really wanted to get to. And then I knew that I was going to get a whole bunch of stuff thrown at me from the suggestions, which they were. I mean, that Circuit Master, that was a heck of a suggestion. But because I knew where I wanted to go, I had to write fast, to get there. So I think that's why mine turned out longer than it usually would be. It's because I just was going to have, Sheila reveal herself to be a wise ass New Yorker. I loved both those accents, Sheila.
Thank you. They were shameful, but thank you.
They were broad, which is just what I wanted.
This is not exactly an answer to your question here, Ken, except that I also started with something from real life. And that made most of my characters speak in like 5-word sentences, and I only get 2 pages done anyway. But I didn't see, Emmy, that you had asked me what the tone of mine was or mood was. I was kind of like, I'd gone back up in the chat to see what my suggestion was and accidentally left it there. But even when I saw it, I thought, and I wonder how many people think this way too. I thought, I don't know what the tone or mood is. I was just kind of like slapping something out, and what I try to do is not deliberately be funny, just kind of like if I think of it, and I was having like my characters kind of go like, I thought you said money, because I read money and then I went back and I went, oh, it's monkey. So I just kept it in and just thought, just keep going and just see how it turns out. But I wonder if people think that way too, because a lot of times my favorite things are like I'm laughing, when I'm watching something, I'm laughing and while thinking I really shouldn't be laughing at this, that kind of like, I don't know if I don't think it's indecision. I think it's, but I wonder if people like, that's one of the things I think that I appreciate very much about immediately hearing it read.
Yeah.
I get the idea of what the tone is.
Livingston, I really appreciated the use of the ringmaster to call back to another time.
That was really cool.
Yeah, and it like instantly made sense. It's kind of, here's the kitchen 50 years ago, and it instantly was like, oh, here they are 50 years ago when they're young people. It's like, it was cool. It was very cool.
Do you feel that happens sometimes? I'll be writing stuff and I'll go like, I have no idea. Like, even now I'm going like, so what if he didn't eat vegetables? But it's kind of hanging there. And then I get one of these suggestions and I go, oh, now I get it.
For those of you who spend a lot of time writing, do you often really use events from your own life to inspire your writing? Especially like if like Chris, you write for TV or whatever it is, where you're pretty much, mandated to write in a certain style and a certain story that's ongoing. Do you get much of your own life in there, or does that not really factor in?
No, but it's also it's the kind of stuff that I like to do and have done is usually like a little sillier. So, I just like, because that to me is the sort of the fun part of like trying to make it make sense, but also just like, oh, okay, well, they're in a marching band, it's the sort of game of it, and I think like I wound up writing a lot to your original question, because like once like I had a public execution, it's like, oh, okay, so they're gonna know somebody is being executed, and then I know I can get an ending out of it, even though I don't know what it is. And it's just like Emmy said, once you know that you can go someplace, for me, like last during rehearsal, I could never figure out where I might go. And so then you just get panicky, or I do. And then but once you know, it's just like, oh, as long as I know I can see my end when I get my last time warning, I'll be okay. And then you're just like, okay, well, this and this and this. And you can be more open to the suggestions and let them like take you someplace.
Yeah. Actually, during the jam, one of the exercises Lisa did was the first line, last line. So they had the first line of the story and the last line of the story, and 2 minutes to get from the first line to the last line. I always find that an exciting way to write. And I love that improvisationally too. That's an old improv game that we would do as well. And I always find that very challenging to know where you have to get, but still see if you can surprise yourself along the way and not quite know how you're going to get there.
Right. Without just bridging to it.
Right.
Without trying to wedge it in.
When we did that as an improv game, I used to like see where we were going and then try to just mess it up entirely.
Throw
Yeah.
a wrench. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, if you think about it,
Exit.
like,
you know, go
like-
into another room, not even be in the theater, you know,
Yeah.
or something.
Well, you know, like when you're working on a season, you know, a lot of times when you come in at the beginning of a year on a season, you're like, well, this is going to be our finale. And you know that like once you start writing episodes, like the thing will come alive and, you know, you want to let it go where it wants to go, where the story's alive. So, you know, it's just like, I just need like just a general destination, you know, and we got plenty of time to fix it on the way. So that's the thing. And I felt like, you know, I was like disappointed in what I wrote last week. And I think it's because I had too fixed an idea. So I was really trying hard not to be fixed this week.
Having the first line, last line, to me, when Lisa did that exercise, it was very grounding. Like you were just going to stay in that moment. You were going to get there, but you know, you didn't want to get there too fast, but then it was a nice kind of flow. Nice knowing where you're going. I agree, Chris.
I have to say, I just remembered, Sheila, that you took 3 lines of dialogue as your prompt, and I did not notice a single one of them, which I think is really some pretty good.
I actually
teamwork.
used all 3 of them, and sometimes I don't use all of them, but I found a way to use all 3 of them.
I was in the thing. There wasn't not a line where I was like, what? Why is that stuck in there? Everything was so beautifully put in. Am I right? Did you guys notice any lines that stuck out? Oh.
No.
No, I don't remember what they were.
So like, how do you approach that? Like, because you have so, you know, it's not just like a first line, but you have these other 2 lines. Are you looking for opportunities to do like when you have these other 2 lines, how are you thinking of them, or is it more like, hey, I can use that?
I don't, you know, it really all depends. I've always loved just people knocking, like, even when I'm writing on my own, and like something happened the other day on a project I'm writing on where this thing happened to my protagonist way earlier in the first episode that I was just like, oh, this should not have happened yet, but it did. And so that's what it is. So I don't know. It's just like when like you look down and you're like, oh, this line would go, oh my God, that's exactly what has to happen here. So sometimes it works, sometimes it just really doesn't. Sometimes it's like wearing shoes that are too small.
I am still on it.
You want it to fit, but it's just not gonna feel good.
That robot ringmaster was brilliant, though.
I had no idea what I was gonna do with that. I was like, well, here we go.
It's just like, it's very hard not to, because it's so funny. It was very hard for me not to improvise in that thing of just like wanting to actually, like, I actually do have to pay him to get him to defuse the bomb. Since he's saying like 1 ticket.
Buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Buy a ticket.
You know,
Myself as a reader wanting to.
It's such a rich idea.
It really is.
Yeah.
Bill Marsili, did you have something you were going to say?
Oh, I shouldn't I?
No, I'm sorry. I thought I heard you get in there.
No, that's okay. Now my wife was saying dinner's ready. I was like, yeah, and then I realized I wasn't muted. But I mean, when it comes to the sort of the first line, last line, and stuff like that, or having I'm virtually incapable of, whether it's a screenplay or even one of the, because I've done a couple of write-aways as a playwright. Even if I end up throwing it out later, I have to have an ending in mind, or I don't know where I'm going. Now, which flies in the total face of improv, but the other thing that I sometimes find is if you just, in these circumstances where you cannot possibly know what the ending is going to be, if you charge along and you just keep charging along full speed, the possibilities of what the ending can be can just narrow. And then it's like, okay, instead of anything under the sun could be where this is headed, there's only 2 or 3 things because of how you've been barreling down some improv road. And now you only have 2 or 3 things to choose from. And if you're fortunate, you'll choose one that the audience isn't already way ahead of you, so.
That's interesting. I've heard recently a phrase that I never really heard before improvisationally, but maybe you folks are aware of it, the circle of possibilities. Have people heard this? I don't know exactly who came up with it, but the idea is like you make an offer, and as soon as you make an offer, you have now excluded a bunch of offers that no longer make sense. So like the circle of possibilities that your story exists in has become smaller. And then the next offer immediately discounts other things, and so on and so on. So as you're working together improvisationally with your partners, you keep making a smaller and smaller circle of possibilities as the story comes into being.
I haven't heard that term, but if you're not just, in one of those terrible situations where people keep making interesting first offers and never explore them, and it gets boring just from the confusion. But I've always thought of it like when you start an improv, it's like saying pick a number, and the possibilities are infinite, but it starts narrowing down to where you're like saying pick a number between 1 and 2, and they're still infinite. And then it's like between 1 and 1.5, the possibilities are still infinite. And then between, just gets smaller and smaller, but remains infinite, but it's not going to be going, completely out of the realm. Your consequences.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, my friends. What do you say? I think Bill's wife is waiting with a big heap of meatloaf in the other room over there.
If she is, I've got plenty of time. You can go off for another hour.
Yeah, no, I'm going to Mama Giannini's.
This has been awesome. You're all so incredibly talented, and we appreciate you spending your time with us so much. So thank you, and let's all do it again soon, shall we?
Great to see you all.
Bye. Great seeing you.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
Great job, Lisa Gay Thompson. Great job, Laura Livingston.
Yeah, I loved your play, Laura.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm turning this off. No, I can't. I was trying to stop the live streaming, but I don't know how to do it.